If we were drinking claws, we could say no laws when you're drinking claws, but
Yeah.
I don't
I'm
drink
a I'm a
claws,
high
but
noon guy. I'm a high noon guy. I
I'm
like the real
drinking
vodka
I'm
or that
drinking
seltzer shit.
yeah, I have a thing of Grey Goose in my freezer.
It's good vodka.
That's I don't drink often, so I figured if I drink something, I'm gonna drink something good.
Yeah, absolutely.
But anyways,
Absolutely.
we could go on a tangent about that, right? Too.
No, but yeah, back to UFC.
But yeah,
Makachev, what were you gonna say?
yeah, Makachev, Chimaev. When what's weird about other high level fighters, sometimes they will take a fight to the distance because they know they can beat him. He almost bit fucking Chimaev in the ass when he fought Burns, because Burns very well could have got the decision, but like
I thought
it's
Burns won that fight.
yeah, that's I mean a lot of people did. A lot of people thought fucking Paddy Pimblett lost his fight too. It's
So did I.
crazy.
That was a fucking. Now you want to talk about rigged? You know,
Oh
there was a good while there where I was like, okay, UFC is a fucking joke. Like it's literally a fucking scripted. It's all scripted. It's all bullshit. And then there was some good fights where it's like you can't fucking script that shit. But now
mm.
it's like, all right, what the fuck was that? This last card was a joke. The
Oh
judging
yeah.
was a fucking joke in this last card. I mean, Patty didn't win. It should the main event that was all
Yeah,
that I mean,
that was such a fucking
Jan's had no, he had no the first 2 rounds, okay, he fucked him up and he fucked
oh
his
yeah.
leg up, but he didn't the last 3 rounds were all Ankalev
Mhm.
or Ankalaev or how do you say it?
Ankalev, I think Ankalaev is how they say it.
Ankalaev. It was all Ankalaev, dude. It was all Ankalaev. Even on that bum ass leg, like how do you not give that to him? How do you not? He gave it all,
Yeah.
and you
He
don't give him that fight. Like even Jan said at the end of the like at the now they were literally in a 5 round fight. I understand fighters say dumb shit right at
mhm.
the end when you're interviewing him, but even
Mhm.
Jan said I didn't win that fight.
Yeah, I mean,
You
at least
know,
he's
he
an
walked it back
honorable
at the end of the
person.
interview, and then he walked it back in the back. I know he's honorable, but he walked it back at the end of
Yeah.
the interview, and he was like, maybe I got to look at it again, and maybe that was a draw, maybe
Yeah.
that was the right outcome." And then in the back, around in the back, in the presser, he said the same shit. He walked it back, and it was like, "Yeah, maybe it was a draw, and I didn't lose that fight." Like,
Mhm.
but you did, but you
Yeah.
did. But you did. You fucked his leg up.
Oh
You
yeah.
won that. You won that. You have 2 legs, he has 1 leg. You won
Mhm.
that, but you did not win the fight.
Yeah. I started watching that card around the end of the early prelims because I saw no I saw never mind I watched a TJ Brown fight. I watched the second fight. I didn't watch the first fight. So did you watch the first fight of the night? Cameron Simon versus Steve Kozlow.
No, I missed that fight. I did miss that
Okay,
fight.
so I watched the second fight, that TJ Brown, the one that trains. I think he trains with
Oh,
oh
you're
shoot,
talking about you're in the early
yep,
prelims.
Bryce Mitchell. Yeah,
Eric Silva. Did I see that? I did
yeah,
see that fight. I saw that fight. That was a good fight. That was
yeah.
not a good fight. Silva came out. They were kind of like feeling each other out a little bit, and then
Mhm.
Brown just took over, right?
Oh yeah, grappling wise, yeah.
Yeah,
Brown
he just beat
was.
the shit out of him.
Mhm.
Yeah, he beat the shit out of him.
I
That was
actually
the
I bet on Brown there, and I think I bet him to. I
I
think I
think I
just
had
bet him to
Silva, to be
win,
honest with you.
and then I bet on Brown. That started off my night good. Um, and then the next fight of the night was Quarantilla versus Alexander Hernandez, and this was that was a letdown because I bet Hernandez, and this is gonna be funny. You're probably gonna laugh at me, but sometimes when it's walkouts, I will listen to a walkout song and see how the fighters reacted on the way out there. And Hernandez, I was
And
like,
that'll be your
he
bet?
yeah, I won a few fights. I will do that occasionally. I'll be like, I'm gonna bet on him because he's playing. His Hernandez was an Eminem song,
Risky. Okay.
but and then I had seen that he had been up at 155 too and stuff. So mainly a lot of it was a song.
Okay.
it's It's crazy.
and you lost that bet.
I lost the bet, but it was like if you watch that fight, he was doing so well, but his gas tank failed him. You know, he's cutting from 155 to 145, and
Yeah,
he didn't
that happens. That
have.
happens, especially that first fight. Was that the first fight at 145?
Yeah, his first fight at
Yeah,
145.
especially
So
the first fight. The first fight, they never. They're you're right. Their gas tanks are low, very
yeah,
low.
I think it's. I mean, and if you look at like oh I'm trying to think of his name. It's the dude McGregor beat. I can't. Why is it slipping my mind?
Aldo.
Aldo. When Aldo went down to 145, he was like he didn't look that great at 145 at first, but then the more he was at 145, the more he looked. He was in great shape there. But his first few fights, he just did not look.
Yeah,
He looked
it's a
too
lot. It's a lot.
skinny.
It's a big toll on the body. I mean, that's a lot of fucking weight, man.
Dude,
To
you're not.
drop 5 pounds, you're like, oh no, not really. No, but during the weight cut, that shit is it's it depletes you, man.
Oh,
It's
your strength's not there either. And this is, I
no.
mean, I'm
I
gonna
don't
I'm
care
gonna
how
tell
what
you.
you eat or what you do between weigh-ins and the fight. Like it don't matter. You fucking is a toll on the body. A toll.
So I dropped when I was in the hospital. I went from 250. I dropped 30 pounds in the hospital, like in 3 weeks, and I'm still around that weight because I'm on the diet that
You
I'm.
still look thinner.
So yeah, I have not gained. I've gained 2 pounds, but like I've been eating right and I've been eating right and exercising and stuff. So um like I am when I'm lifting, I am not able to lift the same amount as I was about a year and a half year ago.
Mhm.
So like, I'll lift
Still
for a
early though.
while.
If you really look at it, it's still early.
Yeah. I mean,
You can get your strength back.
yeah, I was talking to someone else and he's like, "Well, your body went through some trauma, so it might take you
Yeah.
longer to get back your muscle memory." And I just
Mhm.
go back. I go there and I'm lifting weights. I'm not as strong as I was, and this sucks, and I feel like a wimp and shit because I'm lifting like if I've got dumbbells, I'm doing like 25 pound curls, and I'm like, man, like not saying anything wrong bad against women, but like there's girls that are doing 20-pound curls too, and
Mhm.
I just feel like I'm like, shit. I was like, well, if I just keep at it, I'll get there. But like, it's the same
Correct.
thing with these fighters, if you cut that weight, that much, you're not gonna be as strong as you are at,
Yeah.
you know, like especially if you don't cut it right.
100%.
And that's how like what happened to me. I lost my weight, but not in a healthy way. It's because I was sick,
Yeah.
So these guys, if they don't cut it right, it's like, yeah, it's gonna zap you, and you're not gonna be as strong as you were. Um, but yeah, his first fight, I hope he sticks. I hope he does. I hope he fights again. I hope he goes at 145, sticks with 145, because he was piecing up Quarantilla and just ran out of gas, and then it was sad day for Alex Hernandez. So.
I didn't get to see the next fight either, the Curtis or Buckley.
So Joaquin Buckley was piecing up Chris Curtis um, for a good 2 rounds, and then Curtis caught him with this he landed right, just boom, like he countered and like hit Buckley, and it buckled him. Buckley buckled. It he just got on top of him and pounded it out until the ref stopped it, which the ref stopped it pretty good because Buckley just crumbled. So um
Okay.
I did not see Edmund Shabazian versus
He
Lenjambula.
came out little flat, little like feeling each other out, but then Edmund just started. mauling him. I mean, he took over. He took over that fight,
I
and
think they said the big thing on Lungiambula isn't he like doesn't he have he has good power, but he doesn't have
yeah, he doesn't have the
the,
skill.
the tank either, right?
No, yeah, he threw a lot of haymakers.
Mm,
Um, and you can tell it took a lot out of him.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, he didn't. I don't know. There's hype on him, but he's swole. He's like jacked. He's chiseled. He looks awesome, but he just doesn't. You can tell his skill set is not there yet. It's not
Is
there.
he pretty young? Let me see. It's not saying. It's
He's
not
11-6. I don't know how old he is. But he's 11-6. So he's 35. Yeah, that's kind
Wow,
of old.
he's kind of like so. I don't know.
I mean,
So
look at his
like
fucking traps. He's he,
I
he's
seen.
fucking jacked.
So I'm looking. I just did like it's pulling up like a preview. I type in Google and he's just he is jacked. It's like, but
Yeah,
it's
he's
like
yoked.
when you see people like you see fighters at this age um fighting, it's like are they really going to be fighting for a title?
No,
Like I mean, are you just making it to the UFC to say, "Hey, I was at the UFC for a
for
while,"
sure,
and
for sure.
it's like I don't. It's like I don't know.
Fucking
So it's hard to.
badass.
It's yeah. I mean, it's I have So one of the guy when I did MMA, um, this guy he I think he repped a few of my fights. His name's Tyrone Roberts. He was in one of the first UFC fights, or UFCs. Yeah, he's
Cool,
Tyrone, the Native Warrior Roberts, and he won it. He won his fight, so it was
nice.
pretty cool.
It was
Um,
a bit different UFC back then, but
oh yeah, there
that's
was
cool. There's
there's a few
much harder
guys.
UFC.
There's a few guys around here that have fought in MMA or fought in UFC. There's another guy. He had a one-off fight in the UFC. His name was Jesse Sanders. He fought in the UFC. You know, there's been some guys that local around me that have fought in the UFC. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Nice.
Um,
That is
but
cool.
um, it's
What
crazy.
about did you watch the next fight, the Rosenstruck versus
Oh
Dawkins?
yeah, dude, that was awesome. I bet on Rosenstrike on that one.
So did
So my
I.
last two fight or the two so I'm kind of down here. So I bet TJ Brown won that fight, bet Hernandez won that or lost that fight, and I bet Buckley and lost that fight. Um so this is where I started making a run. The Rosenstrike versus Dawkins, I bet on Rosenstrike to win. Um it was
Just a
it is it
fucking
yeah, it was I don't think I got it at 170. I think it was a little bit short. I think it was a little bit smaller on Caesars. I don't know if
I
these
don't
are
remember what I
Caesars
got.
lines, but it was
But
around
he
160, something like that.
fucked him up.
Oh, he
I
rushed him
mean,
and
yeah, he
just
bum rushed him, and the guy couldn't. He had no idea what to do. He didn't know
yeah.
what the fuck to do but cover up and just hope
Dawkins is
not to
like
lose
he's like a
lose his
grappler, ain't he?
brain.
He's not a
Yeah, he's
striker
not.
by
He's
trade.
not. No, I'm sorry, Dawkins. He's not. He's not my kind of guy, dude. I don't think he's doing it.
He's one of the he's one of those guys that was in the top 10. I think he was like number 7. I think okay, so he fought Dawkins um fought
I bet against him that Derek Lewis. I bet that
yeah,
one. I
Derek
remember
Lewis. Yeah,
that.
he fought Derek Lewis and Derek Lewis I think knocked him out of the top 10 or knocked him into I think maybe he fought Aspinall or something, but
Derek
he's
Lewis
been
fucked him up early too. It was like
oh
a
yeah.
minute and 30 into the round.
Let me see what
It was
Dawkins
it
has
was in the
fought.
third. It was with 3:36 left.
He fought Curtis Blades and
Yeah, got
got
his
fucked
ass
up
kicked in that one
there.
too.
Um so who did else he
He beat
fight? So,
Olenek. That's a good. That's a good win.
yeah. I mean, a couple years ago though, right?
Yeah, a couple. Yeah, it was
Parker
21.
Parker Porter, dude. Parker Porter.
He sucks too, right?
Yeah, but he's fun to watch.
It's
I
hard.
like
It's hard to say that these guys suck. I mean, they're in the
yeah,
UFC.
they're
They're fucking talented. They're good fighters. But it's like
Chase
there's
Sherman. I
just
like to
there's just
say he
levels to it.
sucks, but like they fucking keep giving Chase Sherman fights, and I don't think he's won a fight in the UFC in a while. But I'm not gonna say he sucks because I mean he's
I don't know who
obviously
that
in the
is.
UFC. He Chase the Vanilla Gorilla.
Oh, the Vanilla Gorilla sounds familiar.
Yeah, that's Chase Sherman. I think there's another guy that goes by Vanilla Gorilla too, but
Did you
yeah.
get to see the next fight, the
The
Rosas
Raul
Jr.? I didn't get to
Rosas.
see that fight,
Yeah,
but
he's
there was so
this
much talk
I
about how that kid was just dominant and impressive.
yes. So this is a point where I'm like, this is a minus 240 fight. Um, I
That's high.
had this bet
I would parlay
as
that. I'll
I did
like
not
I'll
parlay
back
it.
to like how to on like how to bet and shit. I'll parlay favorites, and if I think they're gonna win, I'll parlay favorites
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
I don't do it a ton, but it's like I do
That'll be like my
parlay a
only
few
bet
fights.
for the whole card though. I
If
won't
you parlay a few of them.
if I parlay, yeah, if I parlay them. Otherwise, if I like the card and I know the fighters on the card, I'll just go single bets, straight bets. But if I don't really know everybody, but you know, whatever, I think the favorite's gonna win, I'll just parlay it. But I did not get to see this Rosas Jr. and I'm kind of pissed I didn't get to see it because I heard
He's
he was nothing but impressive.
Yeah,
Nothing but impressive.
he was very impressive. That my my phone's on. Why is it still? It was on silent. I don't know what the heck happened there, but yeah, you heard that
I told you to
notification.
turn it
It
off.
was it's on the red. I mean, I don't know if you can see that, but
Yeah.
um,
Do not turn the do not disturb on.
I must not have. I told you I'm a noob
You're
when it
new at it,
comes to.
yeah. So do you have the button at the bottom, or or is yours a
No, I
swipe up?
don't. Mine does not have the button. Uh,
The swipe? Because I literally just got the new iPhone, the 14 today.
yeah,
Like I just activated it about an hour before we got on,
nice.
so
Did
I'm
you get
brand
the
new at
regular
it.
14 or you get the Pro or Pro Max
No,
or
just
just
the regular.
yeah,
But if you pull down, you go to you put your finger at the top and you pull down.
yeah.
There's that half moon. Is it called
Oh,
focus?
yeah, focus, yeah.
Yeah, you turn on focus and then you can click on do
Oh, do
not
not
disturb,
disturb. Oh, I see. Let's
and
put it on.
that'll silence your phone. You can at least my phone, I don't know if yours does it, but you can set how long you want it for do not disturb. You want it 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. You can set it.
Hmm. Looked like work focus. I don't know.
Yeah,
Should,
it's all new now. Like if I used to have the iPhone 7.
yeah.
That's
Oh,
that's
you
the
went from
last
the
one I
7
had.
to the 14?
Yeah, I went from the 7 to the
Dang.
14, bro. Like
Dang,
I've
you know.
had this is my third iPhone in my life, and we're
Wha-
already at 14. This is my
What'd you
third
have
one.
before that though? Like the
I
5C or
I
something?
yeah, I think it was the 5, and then I had that forever, and then I got the 7. After the 7, it wasn't I was the 7 brand new when I got it? And maybe a year old or a year and a half old. But anyways, I just keep my phone. I go, "Fuck."
Yeah.
I don't like phones anyways. I really don't. I don't,
Yeah.
but whatever. Um, but yeah, back
Rosas
to
was
Rosas.
Rosas was he so I bet his I think I bet his fight I bet him to get a submission. Um and he got a
That's his thing,
submission.
right?
Yeah, he got like he is like I don't think he wants to be the champion by the time he's 20, but he's at bantamweight. Probably not going to happen, but he was very impressive. I think he's got some things he's got to learn yet, but I think when he does, if he gets with the right team, this guy is going to be a champion. He's very talented. I hope
That's
they
what a lot of people were saying.
so he was 18 years old in like 2
This is
months or something
crazy.
like that. And I just hope that UFC handles him correctly because you've seen him do it with they did it with Sage Northcutt. They had
Yeah,
him
he was.
he
He
like
sucks
well, I think UFC kind of gave up on him like after he lost.
because
I
he
don't
was
think
losing to all the big names, and he couldn't even hang, man. He was getting fucked up.
yeah, he was like I mean, I'm gonna I want to say they gave up on him pretty early because he lost to Barberena and then he beat Enrique Martin and then he lost to Mickey Gall. Mickey Gall probably not should not have lost to. Um then he went on a 3-fight winning streak. So he won like after UFC had him like they had him. He won 2 fights in the UFC and then he lost one. And then he won one, then he lost, and then he went on a 3-fight winning streak. He's 11-3. He's in one. He's in one championship right now, but they kind of took they just didn't. I don't think they handled him right, or maybe they tried to push him too soon. He's 26 years old, but like he was like still in college and shit when they. His first fight with the UFC was in 2015, so about 7 years ago. He was like 19.
I just
So
remember him sucking. I remember him just being like this chiseled, fucking Ken doll looking dude, and he just was getting his ass kicked.
yeah, I mean, it's just I don't know. I think they didn't handle him right, or they probably didn't have him. I just hope that UFC with this Rosas kid. I hope they handle him correctly. Jay Perrin, I mean, he didn't. I mean, he did all right, but like Rosas just had him, had his number, um, and so it was a good fight. Um, yeah. Next fight I had
Yeah, but
Ilya.
on the main card,
Yep, main card we had Bryce Mitchell versus Ilya Topuria. Um, I had, I think I had
what a
this fight to not go to decision, so it
that's a
didn't
good
have.
bet.
So this was one of the ones that I started, like I said, I started my my climb back for after those back-to-back losses. Um, so yep, I had the fight to not go to decision, and then yeah, Ilya, I think Ilya's the real deal.
Just fucked him up. I mean, he
Yeah.
literally made Bryce Mitchell consider retirement. And
Oh
he
yeah.
fucked him up.
Oh yeah. He had him bad.
Bryce Mitchell was disappointing as fuck. He was a one. He looked like he had only one way to win a fight, and only one way to fight. I mean, he made him look one dimensional, and he couldn't do anything else but basically just throw a heavy right. And Ilya just worked him the entire fight,
What's
taking him
crazy?
down, put him up against the cage, work him against the cage, beat his ass standing up. I mean, he fucked him up every which way.
What's crazy though is Mitchell doesn't have just one way to win any fight. But the way Ilya, like you said, the way Ilya made him look is like
He took his ground game away from him.
he wasn't that good. But like Bryce Mitchell, like he did very well standing against RDA.
Yeah,
So it's like, but Ilya was so good that he made Mitchell look silly. So
silly. I mean, Mitchell was 15-1 coming into that fight, or 14, 15-1 coming into that fight, and
I don't think the UFC
he
is
did not
gonna.
look like a 15-1 UFC fighter.
No,
He looked like shit.
that Ilya to Topuria though. I don't think they're gonna put him against
Patty,
Eddie. Or no,
he'd
against
fuck
Patty.
Patty
Yeah.
up.
I don't. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna have him fight him though. I think that UFC saw what they need to do with Patty though
Well,
after
let's hold
that
on for the
fucking.
Patty talk because that's in this card.
Yep.
But
So next fight is Darren Till and Dricus Duplessis, and I just want to know what happened to fucking Till here because he supposed to be training with Khabib,
like, talk
and
about no, it wasn't Khabib. It was uh Chimaev.
was it Chimaev? Oh yeah, they were best friends and they're
Yeah,
training together.
in
Obviously,
Sweden or
they did not obviously didn't train fucking grappling there
dude.
because
Till has been bad,
yeah, he's only
like
fought like
really bad.
the
I
last 3
mean,
years he's fought only one time a year.
the only win he had was against Gastelum.
Yeah,
He
so
hasn't. He basically, you take that win away against Gastelum, he hasn't won since 28 since for 4 years. In 4 years, he hasn't won.
he lost to Woodley. He beat Wonder Boy. So that was in 2018. So he lost to Woodley. Um, beat Wonder Boy. beat Gastelum, so he's on a 2-fight win streak. He's 18-5-1, which he doesn't have a terrible record, but this recently is when he's racking up all these losses. He beats, he loses to Masvidal, which Masvidal getting a title shot is bullshit. I could go on and on about
Masvidal
that.
fucking sucks, dude.
But he has beef with Leon Edwards, so it's like. But yeah,
So
it's like
lame.
so he loses to Bobby Knuckles, he loses to Derek Brunson, and then he loses to Duplessis. So it's like I bet on Duplessis to win that fight straight up.
That was he? What was that line?
I think it was so it was a -180. What did I bet on that then? I know I bet this fight. I want to say that I bet Dricus. Maybe I
But
was
Till looked so bad, like so bad. I mean, they should have called that fight. What was he doing? What was that ref doing? I mean, he's sitting there talking to the ref. No, I'm fine. No, I'm fine. Bam, bam, bam. I'm fine. Bam, bam. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Bam, bam, bam. Like, well, no, you're not, dude. You're literally getting your fucking head kicked in. I mean, what the fuck is
ref
going on?
should have stopped that. If that were any other ref but that ref, maybe Steve Mazzagatti or maybe Herb Dean. Herb Dean fucking
Herb would have stopped that.
Herb reminds me of fucking fucking Ivan Drago. He's like, if he dies, he dies. So
I think he would have stopped that. Like,
Dean,
anybody would have stopped that shit. That was fucked up.
Herb Dean is one of those guys he's either gonna stop it too early or he's like he waits until they're almost dead to stop it. It's there's no in between with Herb Dean.
Another rigged question. I mean, but whatever. That's just another rigged question. But
they tell Herb Dean.
But how bad did Till look?
Oh, he was getting fucking hammered.
Like
he was getting hammered by
I can't be. He doesn't look like a UFC fighter. The game has passed him by.
Oh yeah, and it's gonna be one of those points where it's like I hate when fighters become I was never a Till fan, but I'm saying he's one of these fighters that was like good
He's a
back in the day, and now he's a gatekeeper. It's like you've got to beat Till to get up,
Not anymore, dude. He's terrible.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
there's no point in if you're fighting Darren Till, you just chalk it up as a W. There's no point in fighting Darren Till anymore. He's no good.
He was supposed to have a career resurgence, but
no, not after that fight.
No. So let's see. The next fight was Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Alex Morono. I tell you what, Alex Morono he does not look like a UFC fighter. No, not at all. He's just this. I don't even know how to describe
sort of
it.
like out of shape looking dude who you're like, how are you? How do you have skill? It's like, I don't get it. The way you look and the way you move don't make sense.
He's not. He doesn't look like he's fast. He's a pretty good counter fighter, but like
he's a very good counter fighter,
and he's very good at fighting on short notice. But like, it was so crazy because
that's another one that they maybe could have called earlier than letting it go to round 3.
Because he's fought some decent guys. Like he fought his nickname is the Great White. That's crazy. So he's been around for a while. Jeez, I didn't know he was back in 2020. I thought he was relatively new, but like was he back in 2019?
No, he's like one of those dudes that the UFC keeps around because he's a good fighter. So they keep him around, but he just like never fucking does well.
Okay. Wow. He's back into 2017 and 2016. Jeez. Okay. Never mind. So he's been around for a while. The only time I've ever seen him fight, the first time I ever seen him fight was against it was just earlier this year against Semmels. Maybe it was not Semmelsberger. What was it? Cerrone. He fought Cerrone. Wasn't that Cerrone's retirement fight?
I can't remember. I'm actually wearing a Cerrone shirt right now.
Are you really? I have
It's
my
like that.
thing.
It's called that like
Oh,
UFC
nice.
on it.
Dang.
It's a tight shirt,
Nice.
but I don't remember. I mean, after that McGregor fight, it's like, all right, will you
Cer-
just go home? Like,
Cerrone
you
was
need to
just
stop
like
fighting.
Cerrone toward the end of his last few fights. I think I said it in one of my, I don't know if it was a podcast or if it was on my TikTok. I was like, I just don't think he loves fighting anymore. No, his last fight
No,
was Jim Miller. The fight before that was Morano and he lost. So he was on a, before he retired, he was on a 1, 2, 3, 4, a no contest, 5, 6 fight losing streak.
yeah,
So it was like he knew
go home, dude.
he was probably ready to call it a day. And
Yeah,
like it's some, it's like,
like
granted.
Ponzinibbio should probably be that one of those guys coming up here pretty soon.
Mhm,
I mean,
yeah.
he's kind of old. Like, he wanted to fight, and he fucked him up at the end. But it's like, I don't know. You're losing to Gary Neal.
It's one of those things where like um they do give like some like I feel like some divisions are very heavy on the older guys, like the age wise, like they got a lot of older guys at the top. And because they were, when they were younger, they were making that push, and then they're, in their prime and stuff like that, and that's why they're still the top five, or champion. And then, all of a sudden, like, they just get old, like, and they start losing, and it's just like Cerrone fought so much, it was just
Yeah,
nuts.
yeah,
But he was
yeah. The
always
most
there for the
fights in UFC
UFC.
history. One of them, right?
Crazy. Yeah, him, and I think Jim Miller actually has that record now.
Okay, they were
Or
up there.
yeah,
He's up there
Jim.
though.
I love watching Jim Miller though.
Ultimate Warrior.
I think he just won a fight, didn't he? I know he was. Oh, I'm definitely sure Jim Miller just won a fight here recently.
I don't know,
But
but didn't
that
Miller
guy's,
fight in the same division as our next fight with Patty and fucking Gordon?
yeah, 155.
155, yeah.
Yeah, dude. Oh, his last. Yeah, I had just said that Cerrone's last fight was Miller, and I was like, Miller just won a fight.
It was Cerrone.
Yeah, but he's on a 3 fight winning streak.
Yeah, he tried to. He's like saying he wants to make a comeback and try to go back to the top, but I just
But
don't see it
he's like,
happening.
he's how old here? 39.
Like
Uh,
being athletics, like age matters. So
yeah. Yeah, we'll go on to our next fight.
yeah, Patty.
Patty versus Jared Gordon. What's crazy is before that fight, I watched something on TikTok about about Jared Gordon. It said that he when he was younger, I guess he was like, he went to this camp, and I guess he was molested, and it kind of messed with him and stuff. He got into drugs and stuff.
Yeah,
Um, Ended up finding MMA or something like that. Got off the drugs, did MMA for a while, or
yeah,
trained
he's sober.
MMA, and he was sober, and he hurt his knee, and then he got on painkillers, and he got addicted to painkillers. And then when painkillers were enough, he got into heroin, and then I guess he overdosed and then turned his life around, and got back into MMA. And they're like, if you if you don't, you might, if you're thinking about like, you might reconsider who you're rooting for on Saturday. I was like, well, I'm still gonna root for Patty, but that's a good story for that guy. I hope he does well, but
Yeah,
ends up ends up winning this fight. The official decision went to Patty, but we all know that Jared Gordon won this
won that
fight.
fight, dominated that fight, dominated that fight. As Nas likes to say, look at the box score. There, the box score is identical. Now, whether that's rigged, I don't know,
Mhm,
because the control time is literally a 6-minute difference. Six
mhm.
minutes. That's almost
Yeah.
that's almost uh that's almost half the fight,
Yeah.
you
It's
know? And he dominated the entire fucking fight. And they gave it to Patty. Like after that fucking shit, after the bell went in round 3, Patty put his arms up like right away, like he throws his arms up. And I'm like, what are you throwing your arms up for? You just got your fucking ass kicked.
it's
Like what
crazy.
what are you look what do you think just happened? You
Yeah,
know?
I don't know
And
how
just
you
another
think that you
reason it's
won
like,
that
okay,
fight.
is this shit rigged? Like, what are we looking at here? Hey, what the fuck is going on? Another
It's definitely it's one of those things where you look at it and go, you wonder if the judges are
eh,
um
did you
have
see
some.
like before the fight during the press or whatever that Dana White was on Patty's podcast and they
Mhm.
basically just suck each other's dick for like 2 hours
Talked shit about Ariel
about all
Helwani.
yeah and so with that like I was like what is this because I thought Alwani was a respected journalist. I know him and Dana don't like each other, but then Patty, I'm like, why is Patty going after him? What the fuck is this about? And it was basically about nothing. They go, I make money off YouTube. You don't make money off YouTube. Like what? Oh no, I don't make money off YouTube. It's like, what are we talking about? It's fucking stupid. What the
Yeah.
fuck is this shit? So yeah, whatever. I don't know. Maybe Patty is like the UFC's next, like whatever you want to call it, kind of like O'Malley.
Yeah,
Like
but
I was thinking earlier
O'Malley,
when we were talking about earlier about Rosas, and it's like, okay, he's in the bantamweight. There's a lot of good dudes in the bantamweight, but O'Malley's ranked second in that
he's ranked well, I mean, he's
number one
the
contender.
number one contender, yeah.
I feel like Rosas might be able to beat his ass.
Peter Yan
I feel
took
like Yossis and Ron might be a good fight. Rosas and Yan might be a good fight.
but you can't put Rosas in that fire yet.
I know.
I think they gotta handle him like they did with O'Malley. You got to. I mean, look at O'Malley. If you probably look at
And just
his
giving him fucking cupcakes.
yeah, until he gets, until you kind of can find him, like I think the way that they handled him with O'Malley with they gave him Vera, which like toward the kind of before he went into his top
Winning streak.
15
Yeah.
role, yeah,
Vera's been kicking ass.
and then I mean Vera wasn't really whooping his ass until
But he fucked him up. I feel like Vera won that fight
he
for
hit that
sure.
fucking leg kick, and yeah, it was lights out. I mean, I think that was a fight where Herb Dean probably stopped it too soon, but it would have been stopped eventually. You know what I'm saying? Like, because
Yeah.
sometimes they'll stop a fight too early,
What
but
about
then you think about it later on, you're like, well, it probably would have eventually got stopped anyways. So why not stop it there?
I feel like what about do you think I don't know who Marab
Polish.
Valishvili whatever. I can't I'm sorry I'm mispronouncing his name, but I can't, yeah, Marab. What about Marab? I can't remember who that is.
Well, is he a
Oh,
grappler?
that guy. That guy's tough as shit.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. Bantamweight's kind of stacked, and I feel
It
like
is.
Aljamain. I don't know if he's the true champ in that division.
Well,
I mean, I
here's the
think Jan's a
thing.
fucking dickhead.
Yeah.
I think Peter Jan's a dickhead.
Yeah.
I think he should be kicked out.
So here's the thing with O'Malley. They gotta get the strap around him and make money off of him. Like, cause he is the McGregor right now. You gotta get the strap on him. I think he can beat Aljamain. You get the strap around him, get him a title defense or two, move him to 145 after Volk's out of there. I think he does well at 145. He probably, maybe he wins the title there, but like and has a couple defenses, but like I think he's just like he's their cash cow right now. O'Malley is. Yeah, he's one of my favorite fighters. I know that. And I know that's
Well,
it's a lot.
145 is a joke. That's the worst division.
Yeah, I know, but don't you he's
All
like
these fighters
he's
suck.
like 6'5". like at bantamweight, of course, there's tons of great talent at bantamweight. Just bantamweight's stacked.
I see
Um,
what you're saying. I mean, it makes sense as far as the storyline.
because I mean, UFC is about making money, right?
Correct.
The talent level at 135 is, I think it's going to catch up to O'Malley. Kind of like it was going to catch up to McGregor at 145. And so he went up to and fought at 155, won the title, and he didn't even defend it.
Yeah, he's never
Yeah.
defended his
And
belts.
then the rest of it was just big money fights.
Yeah,
That's
McGregor's the biggest fraud
that's gonna be
in
that's what the next thing's
UFC
gonna
history.
be with O'Malley. And I love watching O'Malley fight, but I think that's what his career trajectory is gonna be. He's
You
gonna
look
be
at
another McGregor.
you look at
But
the bantamweight after Marab. I mean, Corey Sandhagen, he was
he could beat
okay.
Sandhagen. He can beat
Yeah, he beat
Sandhagen.
Sandhagen. Sergio. No, I'm talking about Rosas.
Oh, Rosas?
I think Rosas could beat Sandhagen. I think Rosas can beat Sergio Pettis. I think he can definitely beat Rob Font. And I don't know who this
Font
Stotts guy is. I don't know who that is.
Font is such a great technician in boxing, but he has fucking pillows in his hand
Yeah,
anymore.
like he's got
He can't
no power.
he cannot like knock anybody out anymore.
And then what about Song Yadong? I mean, he's not
Oh,
that good.
it's
I feel like Song Yadong might actually be a good next fight for Rosas, but I think he can beat him.
I think they
I
give
think he can beat everybody
I
in the
don't
top in the bottom of that top 10.
but I don't think they put him there that yet. I think they know how to handle I think they know how to handle I think they know how to handle up and coming talents now. Like there's a lot of hype behind him. A lot of people are gonna watch him. I think a lot of people are gonna watch him. They want to watch him develop. So UFC knows that people got eyes on him, so they're gonna bring him up exactly how they brought him O'Malley up. That's how they're gonna do it.
Yeah, and he's
Um,
got such a goofy face too.
oh
It's
yeah,
like a plus,
yeah.
you know?
I think his lower jaw looks like it sticks out farther than his like top
Yeah,
jaw,
and then he's
which
got the fucking wrestler ears and
yeah,
the cauliflower ears, and he's got all that shit. He looks goofy. He looks like
yeah,
a cartoon character.
yeah.
But
I
hey,
think
whatever, dude. He's a fucking animal. He's a
yeah.
stud.
I just don't think so. Saeed Nurmagomedov, he's in the top 15 there. I think he just won his fight.
Yeah,
Was that Saeed? Yeah, it was
I
Saeed
think it
versus
was.
Sayed Kub and
Yeah, it was the
Rachmanov or
fight night,
something.
right?
Not
It was last
yeah.
Saturday, right?
Yeah, it wasn't Rachmanov. It was hold on.
I'm not
I
sure.
actually have it pulled up.
It was two weird names.
Saeed Kakramanov.
Yeah.
K Kakramanov. Yeah, that was actually a good fight because Kakramanov was beating him until he got that choke in.
Okay.
So that
But
was
yeah,
actually
so Gordon beat Patty. Patty did not win that fight.
no.
That was an embarrassing. Again, it was kind of like the Brown fight earlier.
Mhm.
Kind of like the Edmund fight. Kind of like the uh the Pluise. I mean, just
Duplessis, yeah.
guys dominating their opponents. He was dominating all those guys I just named. They dominated their opponent and they won. That's exactly what Gordon did to Patty. Patty really
Mhm.
didn't do shit. I
No.
mean, but Gordon made him one dimensional as well, and he kept his fucking hands down. I mean, if Patty's gonna win it, if he's gonna fight higher, better talent, he better keep his fucking hands up and
Oh, dude,
protect himself.
fucking Bobby Green did that shit to Dober. He had his
It's
hands
just
down
so
the whole time and
stupid.
talking
It's
to him
just
the whole time
so
too.
stupid. Like, what are you doing? These are fucking professional fighters. They will fuck you up. And he got fucked up.
Mhm.
I don't care what this box score says as far as total strikes, 97 to 100, significant strikes, Patty 63, Gordon 60, like head strikes 33 to 32. There's the 33 again. Body 13 to 14, legs 17-14. I don't care what anybody says. Gordon had more control time. and he had like harder strikes. Like he was damaging Patty. Patty was
Mhm.
not damaging him. Like I mean, it was. I think he had like one little bruise on his face. It was ridiculous. So
Mhm.
that fight was fucked up. Gordon should have won that fight. Um, but then the main event. I mean, talk about should have won the fight. The
Yeah.
main event. I mean, Jesus, what was your take on the main event?
I like you said, Jan won the first 2 rounds. Going into the third, I mean, Ankalaev, I think, took it over from the third to the fifth, but
Yeah, there was a little bit there in the beginning of the third where I think Jan had like a little bit, like he kicked a leg early,
Mhm.
maybe even had some good strikes, but then it was just game over. Like
Mhm.
Uncle Alev just took him up against the fence, beat him down, beat him up, took him down. Like I don't know, Jan did not.
Mhm.
In my opinion, Jan had no business being close to a draw. Like I think for 3 rounds, Uncle Alev beat his ass, and
Mhm.
I mean, like I just don't get how you score that fight.
No.
Especially the third round. I mean, he beat him up in the third round, where maybe even they could have called the fight.
Mhm. It's
Beat him
I
up in the third round. Beat him up. I don't even think like that round. Jan didn't even come close to landing anything or do anything in that round.
yeah, it's I don't know what the
Blows my mind.
I think UFC, what's weird is how they had that they asked Dana White, well, what happens when something like that happens to like a draw happens? What do you do? He's like, well, the winner of Teixeira versus Hill is gonna be the champion now, and you're just like,
But
well,
what? I mean, Ankalaev literally left his leg out there.
yeah.
I mean,
And
he gave it all.
I don't know how so like now Jamal Hill is he's the seventh ranked guy at
What's your
light
take on
heavyweight.
him? I'm just not buying him.
He's a striker. I mean, I don't know if he's got much more. Like, is he gonna be able to grapple with Glover? So Glover's gonna be champion again. Fuck
Fuck Glover,
watching,
man. I'm
watch
done with
fucking
Glover.
Glover like
I was
just
done with Glover
grind out a
5 years
fucking
ago.
fight. It's like fuck watching him just drag out a fight
Yeah,
wrestling and like I
annoying
mean
as shit. His
I'm a
fights are so
wrestler, but
boring.
it's like at least fucking be throwing strikes or like
Yeah, go
watching him
go
and
go. Yeah, yeah. Go to
Fury.
those grappling matches. Go to fucking Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. Get at the fuck out of the UFC if you're not gonna hit people.
Yeah, fucking throw some elbows from the top and shit. It's like I just don't. I like watching him versus Yuri. It was like I was big into getting Yuri, but
I didn't buy that UFC strictly because I'm like, this is fuck. I'm not watching. That guy sucks. I'm not watching it. I
Yuri
like to
is
see the numbers on that one.
Yuri is Czechoslovakian, so I'm Czechoslovakian mainly. So that's why I liked watching him become champion. But it sucked that he vacated it because he got hurt. But he's what's awesome about that
Talk
was
about a man of honor.
he didn't want the division to just stay on standstill until he came back. You know,
Like
would
McGregor.
yeah, McGregor or Nagano. Nagano,
McGregor's bitch ass.
yeah, it's like what are they doing like with the heavyweight? The heavyweight title should have been defended 2 or 3 times. Last
Yeah.
year it was like Nagano
Yeah, when's the
beat
last time the Ngannou fucking fought, and when's the next time he is gonna
like
fight? I mean,
January or February, and now he's gonna fight in March against John Jones. So
March.
yeah.
We gotta wait. So basically a year, so 14 months we gotta wait for
Hmm.
him
Yep, it
to
was.
fight. That's
Yep.
ridiculous.
Let's see if it's not. I don't even think it's announced yet, but it was supposedly March.
I mean, the John Jones shit's ridiculous too.
Yeah, I mean,
But that's another
he
podcast.
had to. Well, here's the thing with Jones is he had to gain the weight the right way. I think there's two ways you got to do things right. You got to cut weight right, and you've got gain weight right. You can't just gain a bunch of weight and then be heavyweight and be good. He's probably built muscle onto his frame, and he's actually going to be able to not that he probably couldn't have fought at heavyweight as the weight he was, but
Well, look at his brothers. His brothers are NFL players. The one is still an NFL player, the fucking Raiders.
Chandler
But but
game winning
yeah, I mean,
interception.
how like irrelevant and a good segue to move on to the NFL. But but look at his brothers, dude. They're fucking massive player. Like they're huge. So like why wouldn't John Jones be able to go to heavyweight? And I'm actually like fuck John Jones as a human. I mean, the man has done some very just repulsive behavior. He's had very repulsive behavior. It's like you're just a fucking dirty dude.
Mhm.
But he wants to talk all his game and like be, hey, I'm smart dude. I'm zen when it comes to fighting and all this shit. Fuck out of here, dude. You're a piece of shit off the field. But in the octagon, goddamn, dude, is he
No
fun to
one better.
watch? He is just he's amazing. The way that he's like Floyd Mayweather with what else?
Wrestling.
I mean, he's just amazing. He doesn't get touched. He doesn't get beat up. He doesn't like it's like he has been beat up in fights, but he's won them. He's won them
Yeah.
all. He's won every
Um,
fucking fight.
the fight that he had against Gustafsson, I think that fight.
I think Gustavo won that fight, dude. I
Yeah,
do think Goose won that fight.
but I think the thing was I don't think Jones trained as hard as he should have for that fight. I think it was.
I agree with that.
I think any other day he handles him.
Yeah, and that was peak John Jones, cokehead, fucking piece of
Mhm.
shit, fucking anything that moved. That was peak
Mhm.
John Jones, piece of shit.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I'm not surprised, and I am very intrigued to watch him fight again.
Him versus Nagano is going to be a good fight. A lot of people are saying that it's going to be
He should fight Gon.
Cyril Gone. Oh,
Yeah.
he'd piece up Gone.
Dude, Gon's legit, bro.
He is, but like he's
Gon
like,
has just gotten better every single fight.
he's just not, I don't think Gone is there yet. Like, well, I think he fought like Nagano is such a beast of a man, and Gon is not that big of a heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Gon is even. I don't even think he
No?
weighs in at. I don't even think he weighs in at 265.
I think he does. No, 247. You're right.
Yeah, he's a smaller heavyweight. So like when you're
That's
going
a
up
good
against,
point.
you're going up against a beast of a man in Nagano. So he's gonna have 18 pounds more of muscle than you, and guess what? Come fight night, he's not 265 anymore. He's rehydrated. He's everything.
Francis?
Yeah. So
It says he's 257. Bullshit. That guy's like 270.
yeah, maybe he cuts down that much, but like he is he's like 270, 275 on fight night after he's rehydrated, after all this, and you're getting pushed, you're 247 maybe. You're getting pushed
Where
around
do we
by.
think John Jones is gonna sit?
I think he's gonna be around 255. I bet.
And not have to cut weight.
Yeah, I don't think. I don't think he's around 280. I don't think he's cutting down to heavyweight, but I think he's gonna
That's
be
gonna be interesting. That's gonna be interesting.
solid wherever he's at.
I wonder if John Jones is gonna have power.
Oh, I think so. He had too much power at light heavyweight, in my opinion. Like everybody, like no, like I think
He had power for sure.
at the
sure.
end of like I think
He also had precision. There's like
oh, he fucked with a ton of people.
Yeah,
he
I know.
knew that
Yeah.
he could beat people.
Yeah. I know.
Probably the only person that gave him probably a legit
Gustafsson.
fight
was
was
bigger.
Gustafsson or Cormier. I think Cormier gave him a good fight. He
I
still
fucking hate
pieced him up.
Cormier.
I hate him as a fighter. I don't mind him as a announcer, but like when he fought, I hate him because all he would do is grind you against the cage,
Yeah.
lay on you. That
Low
was
man
not,
wins. So what did he do? He just went low every time. I mean, he's a wrestler.
when
but
he
went
fought
low every
Stipe. It
time.
was, and then
And
that's
Stipe-
another. They're fucking over Stipe a lot too. I think
I'm-
in this.
I'm done with Stipe.
He only fights like once or twice a year, so it's like, why do you
Not
put
once a year, maybe.
yeah, why'd you put a title around someone that's
It's
winning
not gonna
or
fight.
fighting? Yeah, Jones at least will. He'll do 2 pay-per-views a year.
John Jones,
Yeah,
for sure,
yeah.
for sure.
That's what I
But
liked
I
about
don't think he deserves it. But hey, what
That's
what
what
are
I
you
liked
gonna do?
about Izzy was he would fight 2 or 3 times a year.
Oh,
And
I love Izzy.
yeah, and like Pereira, I think that fight, the
That's gonna be
rematch
another
that's
good
gonna be
one.
a good one.
Another fucking great one, dude.
He's gonna
Izzy,
have to
I love Izzy, man.
he's gonna have to beat him this time though, you know.
But I love Pereira too, dude. I think Pereira is a fucking like he should be illegal. I mean, he's
He's
like
a nightmare.
his strength and quickness is just it's unmatched. He's stronger. He's way stronger than he looks, and it's unbelievable. I need a hard edit here. I gotta take the leak.
Okay, no problem. You want me to just pause it? All right, just paused it in there for a second. So, anyways, yeah, I think
John Jones.
John Jones. Yeah, I think he's gonna. I think we were talking about Pereira.
Oh yeah, Pereira. I'm sorry.
Pereira, yeah, I think he's good. I think the next fight's gonna. Izzy's since he's the champion or was the champion, and Pereira's now the champion. I think you gotta make sure that you are the winner. I think Izzy was the minute by minute winner in that fight. Just got caught, and Pereira throws those that feint and then that kick. It's fucking crazy. There was a
It's
on
so
this
fast.
on this last fight night. I'm trying to think of Alex Caceres did something. It wasn't like that little
Question
feint and
mark.
then kick. He did so what he did was he threw a punch, overextended it, and then while he was down there, he threw like a kick and it fucking knocked that Rosa out. You'll have to watch the clip of it, but he throws it, misses, boom, he's down. And while he's down, he throws his leg up and boom, like kicks him. It's fucking crazy. So like the moves that these guys are doing right now would fucking blow the minds of people in UFC 100.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the game has evolved so much, dude, and it's fun to watch. It's incredible to watch. I mean, if you're not watching the UFC, you need to be. I
Yeah,
mean, you're
you're
missing out
missing
on
out.
you're missing out on some great fucking talent. And this isn't like, oh yeah, fucking two guys get in a cage and just throw haymakers at each other. No, this is skilled technicians. I mean, you can get any style of fighting. All these guys know how to fight all the styles. And in my opinion, it's must watch. It's great entertainment.
I mean, I wouldn't call you know, I wouldn't call Derek Lewis a technician, but
No, but not, like those guys come and go and they fade quickly.
yeah.
So,
I mean, he made a run. He made a run for a
yeah,
while.
yeah. And it was entertaining. It was entertaining.
Oh yeah.
If nothing else, it was entertaining.
My
And that's what
balls
they're
was
good
hot.
at. Yeah. I mean, he takes his pants off in the middle of the ring.
yeah.
That's just what the UFC is entertaining.
Oh yeah.
Like there's the entertainment value and there's also the technician value. Like there's two you can get both things. And if you're sticking around for the combat and the technician, and the craftsmanship, if you're sticking around for that, you're still gonna like the entertainment value that a fucking Rosenstrike or who we were just talking about.
Lewis.
Yeah, Derek Lewis, the Black Beast, like
Bryce Mitchell too. He's
Mitchell, like you're gonna
O'Malley.
be entertained. Yeah,
There's tons of guys. So there's two schools of thought. There's the people that are like, they just need to shut up and fight, blah blah blah. And then there's the people that love the shit talking. I love the shit talking.
Oh, it's truly a skill. Like, I
It
mean,
is.
McGregor. That's how McGregor made all his money. He was
Oh yeah.
great at shit talking.
Oh yeah. And what was crazy about Matt Hughes was like I read his autobiography and like he was like I didn't really want to talk shit at all. He's like I just wanted
Right.
to
And I
like
love that shit.
they would they
Those are
would
my kind of
they
guy.
basically made him talk shit,
Yeah.
to sell fights, but he's like I didn't all he wanted to do was get in there and fight. There was a few guys that he didn't like, obviously Frank Trigg was one of them he didn't like, but it's just he was like it was kind of not my thing, but
Yeah.
he did it and it was what it was.